Yo, what is up, everybody? How we all doing this lovely Friday evening? You could be so many places right now. You could be hanging out with friends and family. You could be watching sports. You could be out drinking and having a good time. But where are you? You're in your mother's basement watching another grown man yell to you, at you actually, about random internet meme coins. Unbelievable. But here we are. So I appreciate you guys all tuning in on a Friday. I was gonna stream yesterday, but I had some stuff come up. And then I was like, maybe I'll wait and I'll fucking, stream on Saturday or Sunday. But realistically, I'm not gonna do that. So I was like, I said I was gonna get it done, so I'm gonna get it done. So I hope you guys are appreciating and enjoying the increased number of streams that I've been trying to do. I've been trying to do like 2 to 3 a week. So I think since the end of February, we've got 9 or so or 10 streams at this point. So we're cooking. We're getting lots of videos going here. And I hope that they're helping you guys at the very least, between me talking shit and all that stuff. I hope you guys are learning something. Hopefully, maybe you're even making a little bit of money. That would be pretty cool. Any games we betting on tonight? Who should we bet on? Who's playing? Who should I bet on? I do need to make some bets. I'll make a bet right now, live. Just tell me. Tell me who to bet on. Cool. Glad to hear, guys. So, again, not a ton has happened. One of the problems with these super consistent streams is not a lot happens in between them necessarily when the volatility is low. So I don't have a ton to update on the higher time frames. What I will do is I'm going to go over Monday's range. So if you guys remember, last video, I talked about screen capping a guy, and I said, listen, this guy was talking shit. He was talking smack under one of my tweets, and I added it to the fucking petty bank. I threw it in the drafts. He deleted his tweet, but it was too late. And I said, if I get this trade right, I'm coming back and I'm dunking on this motherfucker. And what did I do? I did exactly as I said I was going to do. The trade went to target. It played out perfectly. And I let that guy fucking have it. And what did he do? Instead of taking his L in stride like a man, he went down like a bitch. He was complaining, saying, oh, you shouldn't be making fun of me. And he's like, I longed 76.5. It's like, okay, so you longed within like $50 of the bottom? I don't believe you. And then he like the next day, because I told him, I was like, take the L, retard. The next day he wrote like some fucking story, some 500 fucking word post about me, and I just blocked him, and I didn't even like or comment or anything on it, because I just wanted him to scream into the void like the fucking donkey that he is. Okay, Oklahoma plus 5.5. When are these games? Are these games this weekend, or are they tonight? Like, do I have time to bet on these after the stream, or am I going to miss it? Upcoming basketball. Oklahoma Sooners, 5.5. Damn. Okay. This game's this game's today. This game's in fucking 25 minutes, bro. Oklahoma Sooners, 5.5. Pays out. So if I bet $5,000, I make $8. 9,400. Should I take that bet? Is that what you're telling me? What's up, Vasil? I appreciate you staying up late to watch. Thanks, Rack. Should I rip this or what? Money line, take a chance. See, this is what I like. I like this guy. I like this guy. This guy's telling me to rip it money line. It's almost 3-1. I'm doing it. Fuck it. Ah! Now I'm scared. I don't even know when this game is. I don't even know when this game is, but I'm fucking in. I am fucking in. Oh, God. I hope I don't regret that. Whoever told me to do that, you're splitting the loss with me if I lose. You're splitting the loss with me if I lose on that. That's all I know. That's all I know. Okay, let's talk charts, guys. So we're going to cover, it's in 25 minutes. Perfect. I won't even be able to watch. We're going to cover the Monday's range trade that I took because I want you guys to understand the logic behind the trade. So if you go to my YouTube channel, I actually have an entire video covering Monday's range, but this will be kind of a refreshed version. So this is what I'm about to share with you guys is an entire strategy, okay? This is a strategy that you can actually use on any asset, okay? You can use it on multiple time frames, and you can usually get at least one, sometimes more, trade out of it every single week. Now, there's not going to be guaranteed a trade every week that works. There's not going to be a trade guaranteed every time that pays out, right? Like, it's not always going to play Monday's range. But it's a trade that works a lot, and it works really, really, really well. So I'm going to just show you guys here, okay? This is the title of the video, okay, on my education playlist on my YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube, you go to the education playlist. This is a 7-minute video, and it's very similar to this video. It's a clip from a stream where I talk about Monday's range. I'm going to explain exactly how this works right now so you guys understand why I took that trade and why I was so viciously able to dunk on that fucking goofball. So this is all you need to trade Monday's range, okay? You're going to go into indicators here, okay? And you're going to type in Spaceman. And what you want to add is this indicator, key levels by Spaceman BTC, okay? And then within this indicator, you're going to be able to select what levels you want this indicator to show. So there's a variety of different levels that it can show. It can show the 4-hour open and close, daily open, high, low, previous mid-range. It can show Monday's range, Monday's mid-range, weekly open, previous weekly's higher, low, monthly open, blah, blah, blah. Quarterly, yearly, all there. You can also have the session times. So if you're trading currencies, you want to know when the open of Monday's range was, New York's range, you can change what the sessions times are. So it's a really, really useful indicator, especially if you ascribe to price action, which I do. Because what are we really using here? Well, Mondays or any of these previous higher lows, right? These are all liquidity. What's above an old weekly high? Stops, right? Okay, well, how do I like to enter trades? I like to enter after stop runs. So these become very useful. Why would the daily open be a useful level? Well, if we open the daily here and then we trade lower, right? And then we trade above it, and I'm like, oh, we're above the daily open now. I could now surmise that potentially the low of the day is in, and I want to be long biased the rest of the day. This is true for the 4-hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, quarterly, yearly. It's all the same. That's why I've been saying, hey, we want to watch this monthly open level on Bitcoin, because if we get above there, it's a good chance the monthly low is in, right? Now, how does Monday's range work? The concept behind Monday's range is very simple. It's that if we trade to one side of the range, there's a pretty high likelihood that we're going to trade to the other side of the range if we get back inside it, okay? The other concept that kind of ties in here, and I talked about this in the setup of the last video, is putting in the low here would also have lined up with Tuesday or Wednesday being the low of the week. And in this case, it ended up being on Tuesday. So there's a really high probability that the lower high of the week is going to form on Tuesday or Wednesday. It's not every time, it's not every week, but more than 50% of the time, the lower high of the week will form on Tuesday or Wednesday. So with that in mind, if we know where the Monday's low and the Monday's high is, and we trade below Monday's low on Tuesday and then reclaim it, we now have a bias, right? We now have a bias that potentially the rest of the week is going to be bullish. So this is really, really, really important, okay? Because having a bias allows us to determine the types of setups that we're going to look for. Are we looking to long or short? One of the biggest problems that people have when they begin trading is they know, okay, if price does this, right? It's a support and it's a support retest, I'm going to long it, right? But if the bias is actually bearish, right? So we do this, but your high time frame bias is bearish, there's a chance that this reaction isn't what you want. It doesn't give you the bounce there. And you're going to go, well, what the hell? It bounced at support. It came to support. I longed it. I put my stop below an old low, and I got stopped out. And generally what a lot of people are missing early on is the ability to determine their bias. What direction do you think price is going to trade to next? So you'll see a lot of videos about this on YouTube and whatever, Discords and shit. People call it daily bias, right? What is the order flow? What is the daily bias? What is the trend? There's a variety of different ways to say it. Okay, but really the key here is determining, is price more likely to head up or down? Next, what is the trend leading up to it? And what is the trend potential? And if we can figure out what our bias is, our probability of our trade working out is much higher. Taking a long in a downtrend is lower probability. It doesn't mean it can't work. There's going to be periods where you can long in a downtrend, but it's not as highly probable, and it's not going to ultimately be as profitable as taking shorts. The inverse being true for longs, shorts in an uptrend, right? So trying to figure out your bias is really tricky. There's a variety of different ways that you can do it. I have another video on my channel. It's the pinned video where I talk about the H12, H1 system, trying to determine where are we going next, internal range liquidity or external range liquidity. You can use order blocks and breakers as draw on liquidity, old highs and lows. The Monday's range strategy is a simple way to determine your bias for a single trade, an intraday trade. So the concept is very simple. We turn on Monday's range. There is no trade until Monday's range prints. So you can see here, this is Monday's low that printed. This is Monday's high that printed. As soon as that prints, the setup is pretty straightforward. We wait for a deviation either above or below, ideally on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we look to take the trade in the other direction of price. So in this instance, right, and I posted this on Twitter. I posted this on Twitter when I took the trade. Stop, entry, and target. I gave you everything, okay? And the concept is very straightforward. Once we determine if we're going long or short, we enter as soon as the deviation is complete. So in this instance, we took out Monday's low. Once we reclaimed it, you enter the trade, and your stop goes below the deviation. The target is Monday's high. It's as simple as that. And if we would have done this in the reverse, so if we would have went up here, I would have shorted, and I would have targeted Monday's low with my stop there. That's it. Now, there's a bunch of other confluences that we can get into if you guys are interested at a later date in another video. But the very basic strategy here is you can use the hourly chart, and you can straight up just enter as soon as the hourly closes back within the range. So we deviated below. As soon as we close this hourly back in, you just fucking enter. You put your stop there. Your target is there. So we would have entered right here. Target there, stop there. It's about 1.5 R, a little under 1.5 R, and then this obviously went, well over 2 R here. Now, can you get a tighter entry? For sure. We could have entered based on this order block here, right? We could have tried to enter based on the order block. We could have waited for price to break in and then tried to wait for a retest of Monday's low. You could zoom in on the low time frame and say, okay, we're back within Monday's range. Now I'm going to go down to the 5-minute chart because my bias is bullish. I already know that I want a long and I want to target up here. Now I can go down to the 5-minute chart and I can say, okay, well, actually we have a little sweep here and we have a little bit of a breaker here. And now I've got a nice little tight 5-minute entry with a tight risk reward that if I, run it up to there, now it's a better risk reward. Now, why does this 5-minute sweep, 5-minute breaker, and retest, why does this work out so well? Because it's in line with the bias of a higher time frame. Because the H1 is telling us that, hey, we just deviated Monday's low. The next draw on liquidity is Monday's high. That's why this SFP worked and this short SFP didn't work. Because in theory, you could say, well, hey, on the 5-minute here, I have an SFP here, right? I have a break in structure here. I have a sweep there, and then I have a breaker, and I have a market structure break. Why didn't this short play out, but this long breaker did? Because it's in line with the high time frame bias. So the crux of Monday's range strategy is that it gives you a high time frame bias. Now you can get yourself into trade. However you choose to enter that trade is up to you. The most basic way to do it is as I explained it. You simply wait for an hourly close back within, stop below there, target the high. Boom. If you want to get a tighter entry, because maybe the deviation is really big, like if this was the deviation on the short side, this is super wide. You're not going to enter here with your stop here if Monday's low's there. The risk reward sucks. You're going to have to find a better entry, right? But the concept is simple in that the low of the week is presumed to be in. It could be wrong. We could have done this and then this. It's not guaranteed that this is going to work every time. But this will give you a trade a lot of weeks. It's like a freebie. And it deviates. It comes back in. We have our bias for longs. We also can now go in and in here, look for longs up to here on a low time frame because our bias and our inval is super duper fucking clear. And I gave you guys the trade in advance, stop, entry, target, the whole fucking shebang because I'm a really nice guy. So the concept was pretty straightforward here, right? Maybe preemptive, right? But we're looking for a Monday's range play. We had the deviation. I was looking for a reclaim of Monday's low. Stop goes below the deviation. And that stop is just the bust price here. That's how you read it on Rollbit. And it worked out perfectly. Okay, so does this make sense? And this is not about catching some fucking... This isn't like, oh, we're going back to all-time high now. This is just to give you a setup that you can try and look for every single week. It's not going to give you a trade every week. It's not always going to work. You'll have lots of times where we reclaim Monday's low and then it never makes it to the high. That's going to happen. But it will work a good amount of times. And if you look for it between Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and you look through it through a variety of different coins, one of them is going to print. Ethereum has been slightly stronger than Bitcoin of late, right? Like ETH BTC is up a little bit, right? Well, ETH did the exact same setup here. Here's your Monday's range, and the risk reward on ETH was way better. There's Monday's low, Monday's high. It broke below, and it closed back within. Look at how much better the risk reward is here. You enter as soon as the hourly closes back within, stop below the deviation. So that was over. This one was over 3R. I should have taken the Ethereum setup. Okay, but does what I'm trying to explain here make sense? This is like a very mechanical strategy. Now, can you add nuance to it? Can you add discretion to it? Of course. Can you refine it and make it more accurate than as I've described it? Absolutely. But I encourage you to go back test this, forward test it, and see how often it actually plays out. And realize that What I've done for you is I've just given you several bits that you need to enter any trade, and I've compacted it into one day, one setup type that's super repeatable, very mechanical, and you can use that to now start expanding. Because if it works on Monday's range, guess where else it works? It works on a weekly range. It works on a monthly range, right? Like if you go here, okay? So here's a monthly high, okay? And then here's a monthly low. This is basically the same setup. Trade it below the monthly low. Okay, maybe you take it here, you get stopped. But when you take it on this one, you fucking print. This is just like a very, like, and so any range you can use this strategy for, but Monday's range is going to give you a setup every single week. So this is a really, really cool tip that I think you should practice. It's a lot of free game I'm giving you here. People don't share with you this kind of shit. They always want to hide their strategy from you. I don't want to tell you how it fucking works. I got some super secret fucking sauce that I'm not sharing with you. What's Trader Main do? What's your fucking boy Main do? He gives you the entire setup in advance, stop entry target, and then he explains to you why it works. Who's doing it like your boy? Nobody. I refuse to believe anybody is doing it like me. I refuse. So, it's a really good system. It's a really good setup. What am I doing here with the monthly open? I'm doing the exact same thing. If we're able to reclaim the monthly open, I think there's a good chance we trade higher and that the monthly low is in. It's the concept's the same. But once you understand it at a basic level, the ranges, why it works, you can then expand that and use it in a whole bunch of different places. But I guarantee one of the main things going wrong, if you're struggling with profitability, if you're like, hey, dude, like I'm winning 30% of my trades. I'm aiming for 2 to 1. So I'm just not quite profitable, right? Because if you're aiming for 2 to 1, you need 33% to break even. So if you're winning about 30%, you're close. You only need to start winning 5 to 10% more of your trades to start making money. You're close. I guarantee you one of the things that you're struggling with is bias and determining which long setups are good and which ones aren't. Why do some long setups work and some don't? Why do some short setups work and some don't? Monday's range gives you bias. And once you understand that, you can then use that logic to determine your bias a variety of different ways. Oh, we just took out last week's low. Guess what? My bias, if we get back above last week's low, is bullish. Towards where? Last week's high. How is that any different than Monday's range? Instead of using Monday's range, it's using last week's high and low. It's the same fucking thing. Am I making sense? I'm spitting so much fucking sauce right now. I'm surprised my microphone isn't short-circuiting. To be honest, you ain't lying. No one gives free sauce like you. Maybe Folis. Go ask Folis, who's a dear friend of mine, who got him into this game. Where do you think he learned? You're looking at him, bro. I was one of the first people he watched on stream. He tells people that all the time. I'm not saying that I'm responsible for his success, but he took the time to watch my videos and learn and develop a system. And now he's doing it big time. I'm telling you guys, I've made multiple people, multi-millionaires, who have just watched my videos. Because the sauce is there. The sauce is there. You just need to go fucking find it. Go grab the sauce, pour that shit on your spaghetti, and get to fucking eating. Should I have a beer? Everyone put your hand up if you'd like me to have a beer. Oh, fucking unanimous decision. Amazing. Unanimous vote. Everyone says I should have a beer. It's unbelievable. Crazy. What do you think about that, Order Block? Is Dad an alcoholic? Before you answer, remember who feeds you. That's crisp. Oh, that's good. Makes me forget that I just bet $5,000 on a game I have no fucking idea of what is going to happen. Okay, so hopefully that was very helpful for you. I'm going to have someone in this video will probably clip that section and upload it, and then a bunch of people will teach it to you as if they came up with it themselves. What up, brother? What up? Hell yeah, Philip. I stopped drinking a year ago, never to return. Yeah, I mean, I don't really drink very much, to be honest with you, but every once in a while, you know, you just want to have a fucking brewski, bro. Every once in a while, you just want to have a little bit of a fucking brewski. No beer during Ramadan. Good thing I'm not Muslim. Why do I use Rollbit? Because no KYC and crypto. I'm drinking a dirty old fucking Paps, man. I'm drinking a dirty fucking Paps. I love you too, DB. Breakout ref link. Every account is on my ref link because it's my company. Okay, so let's now discuss where we're at with Bitcoin itself. Is the bottom in? Are we going to go higher? Is this going to resolve lower? Because you guys know my thought process on the high time frame, right? My thought process on the high time frame is that I want to either short up here or I want to long down here. That hasn't changed, okay? However, we've had a little bit of a low time frame PA that we can look at. So if you look here on the monthly, we're kind of like a spinning top or doji, whatever those fucking candle pattern traders call this stupid shit. But basically, we've traded up, we've traded down, and right now we're trading right around the monthly open. So if the monthly were to close today, this is how the candle would close, right? So in this candle, we traded up, and then we traded down, and then we closed here. Right? So this candle, it's open, high, low, and then right now we're trading right back near the open. Okay? So the question is are we going up or not? Now, we had FOMC this week. And if you follow me on TikTok, because I'm fucking posting TikToks because I fucking hate my life, but because a bunch of idiots are on there and someone who actually knows what they're talking about needs to fucking post there. So I guess that's my job. I talked about FOMC. There's no way we were getting a rate cut. No one was predicting a rate cut. No one was expecting a rate cut. But we were wanting to focus on the language in which Jerome Powell was going to speak about the economy and the potential for future rate cuts. And nothing really changed. He was not overly hawkish. He was not overly dovish. And he mentioned that, yeah, there are actually some signs that we might be heading towards a recession. It's more likely than it was before that we're heading towards a recession. The tariffs are not helping, right? The tariffs are not making him want to cut rates. The tariffs are inflationary. The economy is strong, but inflation is still too high. There's still no room to cut rates based on the course that we are on currently. So Trump is playing this game, whether it be 4D chess or it be fucking, checkers or something, where he's trying to say, actually, the tariffs are good and we need to cut rates in anticipation of the tariffs to basically fucking save the economy. So Trump is putting downward pressure on the markets with all this tariff talk, while alienating a lot of his allies. And he's effectively trying to get the Fed to cut rates. That's my opinion of what I think Trump is trying to do. He's trying to get the Fed into a position where they might cut rates earlier than expected. And the next FOMC is in May, and then I believe the one after that is in June. So I don't think we're going to see any sort of rate cuts until May at the earliest, but I think, kind of Q2 or like the end of Q2, going into Q3, I think that's much more likely to be the case than there being a rate cut like right away within the next 2 months. Devin says, why would we go into recession when the Fed meeting went perfectly? I don't know, Devin. To me, the Fed meeting going perfectly would be him saying, fuck your puts, we're cutting rates by fucking 2, and everything going up in unison and Bitcoin going 150K. That seems like perfect to me. I don't know what perfect is to you. He had no language of a recession. Powell, forecasters have raised their possibility of a recession, which is exactly what I just said. So shut the fuck up. Anyways, so I don't think that it was kind of a bit of a nothing burger. I don't think that it's changed the trajectory of the high time frame. I still think that the high time frame is bearish, unfortunately. So really what we're looking at here is we have this 12-hour low, right? And we kind of have a potential over under here. I would be much more confident that this plays out than just this being it. I took the long anyways because mechanically the setup is there, right? We're right at the monthly open. We swept a low. We broke structure. We're now holding above it. So I was willing to punt, and I posted the trade idea today. I was willing to punt here on a long with my validation down here and my target being the yearly open. My confidence in this setup is not very high because I don't think that there's like a ton of strength in the market right now. It just doesn't seem to be that way. Could I be wrong and could we rip? Absolutely. And that's why I took the trade, because the setup is there. It's very much risk defined, but I wouldn't be surprised if, even if we go up, then we come back down, or we go up a little bit here and then we come back down. And if we come here and we show some kind of support, whether it be at the level or after sweeping the level, that would be a long I'd potentially be interested in. But in terms of high confidence swing trade opportunities, those have not changed for me. I still think we zoom out to the weekly and we say very simply, okay, we have our weekly breaker and our weekly resistance up here, confluent with the yearly open, and we have our high time frame, weekly and monthly demand down here. These are the areas where I would be looking for high confidence swing trades, be it bearish or bullish. Anything here I consider as diddling in the middle, I'm still willing to take trades. This is why something like Monday's range is so great, because it's an easy discretionary trade. Who cares? Bull market, bear market, you can trade Monday's range. But in this instance here, for a swing trade and the determination of whether or not we're going much higher or much lower, these are the areas that I'm going to be interested in taking those kind of higher confidence swings, maybe buying more spot, selling spot, things of that nature. But in terms of the low time frame here, I mean, the setup is here. You have a sweep, you have the break in structure, you have the retest, you have the key level, you have invalidation. All the ingredients for a setup are there. My confidence level, because it's kind of just in the middle, it's also now the weekend, is not super high, but I'm willing to hold it and see what fucking happens. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's okay. I know where I want to do business, and I'm okay being wrong and then getting back involved at a later date at a more high confidence area. Mike, do we long or short here? I literally posted a long on Twitter, and I just explained to you the long that I'm in right now. What's your stop loss on a stab of the bottom there or a sweep of the low? Well, it depends. If we come down here and we sweep the low, the stop loss becomes the sweep. If we come down here and we're putting in some bullish PA on the low time frame, my stop loss is there. What's up, Solo Up Okay? How you doing, G? So I am long. How can I explain what I fucking am doing more? I don't think a lot of people do what I do, where like I'm showing you everything. I'm like a girl that's putting out on the very first date. I'm not withholding shit. All these fucking guys on Twitter are fucking cock teases. Oh, you got to take me for 3 dates, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. We got to be official, boyfriend, girlfriend, before they're fucking giving it up. Your old boy Maine, the throat goat, it's going down night one. I'm not holding back shit. I'm telling you exactly what I'm fucking doing. Monday low high came out to my exact ranges on Sui. Thanks for the extra confirmation. Hell yeah, bro. His age is the radial of 100 or 1,225. What the fuck is a radial? Is that divided by 90? Or is it 180? The radial of 1,225 is 35. Well, that's wrong because that's not what my fucking age is. You piece of shit. I'm 46. Slip says, the top is in. Thanks, Chief. Amazing insight. Fucking 25% off the top. The top is in. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. That's a very bold call. It's a very bold call to say that the top is in after the fucking market has nuked almost 30%. Max Barnes says, are you still in your big spot positions or did you sell some because we broke weekly structure? If you don't answer, I'm gay. I guess I'm gay then. I'm just kidding. I did not sell nearly as much spot as I had hoped. In reality, as soon as we broke this structure, I should have closed. But what fucked me up is this wick, right? And if you go on the 3-day, this was the sell spot, in my opinion. This was the spot to get the fuck out. The structure broke. You got the bounce. That was the time to get out. But that weekly wick fucked me up. So I'm still holding a decent amount. I actually bought some spot at 78. I bought some spot at 82. And I'll buy more down here because I still think even if we do this, I still think we get a decent bounce at some point off of this zone. Whether it's for a lower high or it's back to new highs, I don't know. But yeah, I should have sold everything. That wick really fucked me up. I mean, what high time frame level do we need to reclaim to be high time frame bullish? In my opinion, you look at the weekly chart and you say, okay, where's the point of breakdown of the range? So here's your range. Sorry. Here's your range, right? What's the point of breakdown? It's this. It's this candle right there. So this up candle, this bearish order block, right at the yearly open, that's the point of breakdown. So this is where we need to get above, and then I think we can go to like 150. But we have to get above there, right? When you have a high time frame range breakdown, a la here, it's like not fucking ideal what happens after. I think the fractal that everyone's looking at right now and jerking off over is this. They're all doing the exact same thing. And they're pretending that they're fucking Nostradamus. Everyone's like, look at this. Look at this. You ready? You ready? Look at this. They go like this. They go, oh, watch this, right? Are you ready? Oh. And then they oops, sorry. They take this and they go like this. I could tell you 15 people on Twitter have posted this exact thing already. And they're like, oh, look at this. This is what's going to happen. And then they're going to go, look at you. I fucking told you so. Fucking dumb. Just because something looks like something else, it doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. And even if it does, it doesn't mean fuck all unless you trade it. So drawing this and it playing out, like if we actually do something like this, it's only cool if you fucking longed here and then sold here. Otherwise, you're still gay. I probably should fucking talk to someone about why I get so angry. So where do you... So, main, your high time frame thesis is still more downside to go. Where do you see the top for this cycle? Bro, there's a chance that the top's in. This could be over already. Like, it could be done. That could be the top, and it would not be surprising at all. I'm going to assume the top is in until we get back above here. I'm going to assume the top is in. How do we trade the lower time frame? The same way you trade the higher time frame. Why does your age change every stream? It doesn't. Every single stream I've told you guys I'm 48 and a half years old. I've never deviated from that number because that's actually how old I am. I only drink IPA, more healthy. That's interesting. Maine, you are the most beautiful men on CT. I like that because I am more than one man. I'm plural. As you guys have seen from my face swaps, I'm a man of many men. That sounds gay. I'm a man of many faces. You named your dog Order Block. You're goddamn right I did. What degree do I need to trade this? You need at least a master's degree in... you need a master's degree. I got to be careful here. I could get myself in trouble. Let's say you need a master's degree in dance theory. You also need at least a bachelor's degree in biology, and you need to have a minor in mathematics and physics. I almost said something so much more offensive, but I'm not going to. What's up, Treeborn Frog? I never know, like, because like Elon owns X now, right? So you can say all sorts of shit on X. You can say retard. You can call people gay. You can say even much worse words. I mean, look at Kanye. You can say whatever you want on there, right? And you don't really get banned unless I think you like threaten to kill someone. But I don't know about YouTube and Twitch. And the problem is when I do these streams, I just start fucking spitting. And sometimes I say stuff that's a little risque, and I'm worried that I'm going to get in trouble. Maine is the man. It's fucking accurate. We were gay below 30. What is the line in the sand now? We are gay right now, bro. We are gay until we are back above 95,000. How about that? Why not stream in X then? I don't know how. Maine drops N-bombs. I do not drop N-bombs, but I guarantee you 99% of the people who do on Twitter are all white guys. Back in 2024, when the 70s was the top, the drop was more than the current drop. why this has to be the top and not back then. It was the top. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. This was the top for literally 6 months, like 200 days. This was the top for half a year. And we dropped almost 60%, 50% from there, 55%. And then we made another top, same thing, weekly structure. There's your weekly market structure break, 55% drop. We didn't make a new high for 200 days. Weekly structure break, 80% drop. We didn't make a new high for years. I'll chart Fartcoin, but ow. What the fuck? I got a splinter. I'll chart Fartcoin, but nothing's changed since my last video. It's following the plan. It went up. Yeah, master's degree in dance theory or higher equivalent. I agree, Tom. YouTube doesn't care unless it's super offensive intentionally. If I'm being offensive, it is 100% intentional. Anyways, okay, guys. So low time frame, that's the setup. Again, I'm not super confident in this trade idea. It's the weekend. The stock market's looking a little iffy. We did get the long that I had posted about on the stock market play out, right? So we had the breaker, the retest, this printed. Could this have more legs, and can this trade higher next week? Maybe. Maybe this is just a bullish enough close that we can float up in crypto over the weekend. It would be very nice. But until we get, in my opinion, up here or down to that monthly zone, I don't have a super strong bias on direction. There's an account on Twitter. I'm not going to mention his name, but he speaks unbelievably confidently about his bias, and then he will, dunk and be like, oh, bears are fucked or bulls are fucked. I'm not talking about Zoran, by the way. But this guy's like wrong a lot. And he's like, absolutely bottoms in, like, we're going up. And like, he says that here, and then we just trade lower. And then we do it again. And he's unbelievably bullish right now. And something that he said that I found interesting is that he said capitulation has happened already. To me, this is not capitulation by any means. This is not capitulation, in my opinion. So that's part of the reason why I don't think the bottom is in yet. Like, capitulation's a lot more violent, I think. Like, you got to remember here, like, this is a 50% drop over 2 weeks, right? Like, to me, that's much more realistically like a capitulation type of move. Whereas here, like in over 60 days, right? So 2 months instead of 2 weeks, like 4 times the amount of time. We're not even down half the same amount. Yukon 11, Oklahoma 2. Who did I bet on? Did I bet on Oklahoma? Fuck. And guys, I'm not even trying to dunk on this person because, in my opinion, you need to be blindly tied to your bias because you're putting money behind it. So if you don't believe that we're going up and you're like a fucking giga bull, then why are you willing to bet on a long, right? Like, you got to be confident enough to put money on it. But a lot of people, I think, just the way that they present their ideas, whether they're serious or not, I just think is kind of funny. Like, I'm not, again, if you're long, you should be the biggest bull on earth. Why would you not be? You want price to go up. You put money behind it. But I always find it funny when someone's like bottoms in, see you at 100K or 90K or all-time high next, and then they're just so confidently wrong. I always find it very funny. Enjoy, Juan. We'll see you later, buddy. Salute. Salud. Espanol. Sí, señor. Juan, mi amigo especial, Juan. Me llamo Trader Main. Yo soy la Flama Blanca. Yo soy muy guapo. Yo soy con leche. You get that? Like, you understand how much Spanish I speak based on that example? I appreciate your support, even if it is $5 because I need medicine, healthcare. Bro, get fucked. We're not dealing with beggars here, bro. Get out of here. Banned. I hope you get the medicine you need, bro. But if you need $5 for medicine, it sounds like you should get a job instead of begging random people on Twitch. Come on, dog. Hombre lechado. Exactly. Hombre con leche. I'm fucking not losing it. Si eres guapo. I am guapo. Juan Pablo Marin, my fucking amigo especial. Max, tú es gayo. No, Max. Tú es gayo también. What do you think about that? Zor, gave you $5, buddy. I'll give you $500,000. You just need to ask, baby. Okay, this is fucking same guy about Gaza. Bro, I'm not going to read the Quran. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm not going to read the Quran. I'm drinking a Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I'm streaming about Bitcoin. This is not the right audience. Te amo as well, my friend. Are we heading into a recession? I fucking hope not, but by many metrics, we're already in a recession. So there's like a statistic or like a rule where I believe if the stock market goes down like more than 10%, like I think it's technically considered a recession. But there's been a decline in GDP. Like there's certain factors that you could already consider were in at least trending towards that direction. But I don't know if we're in an official one yet, to be honest with you. But I hope that it's not the case. I mean, my title is very much fucking clickbait, as you know. But yeah, if Trump keeps with the tariff shit, I don't think it's going to help the economy. That's for sure. Maine is El Cuyo Gigante. Fucking exactly. That's exactly what I am. The thing is like, so people are going to say, like, there's going to be people, right, like Adam Cochran, who are going to be like, well, inflation was going down under Biden. And, now it's going up because of Trump's tariffs. But, like, I think if you ask like the average person, I think like people still think inflation's very high. I still think the average person is struggling to pay their bills. Groceries are expensive. Gas is expensive. So there's a disconnect, in my opinion, between reality, right, and what the media and economists and the Fed and the president and shit will talk about. Oh, well, the economy is strong. Inflation's coming down. We're not in a recession. Everything's great. And then there's people who are struggling to live because the cost of living is, exceedingly higher than it was. Now, relative to a few months ago, maybe things are better or worse. But over the last handful of years, I think most people are a lot worse off than they were. I mean, some of us are very fortunate that we're in an industry like crypto where we can make money up, down, sideways. Maybe you've made a bunch of money on Bitcoin going to 100K. But a lot of my friends who are just like regular people, they're like, hey, I'm not making more money and everything is more expensive. In Canada here specifically, we are, in the last 10 years, we are the lowest growth in GDP per capita out of like the 50 developed countries. People in Canada are poorer now than they've really been ever, like in so long, and everything costs twice as much. So I got friends who are teachers and firefighters and just like regular guys, plumbers, electricians, and they're like, dude, I'm not making more money and my money goes less far. So go and try and tell that person that we're in a bull market. They're going to be like, where? All right, so we need more Indians in Canada ASAP. No comment. Maine, do you want to be the 51st state? I think there is a 0% chance that Canada becomes the 51st state because Canadians are very stupid en masse. But I do think that there's a better situation that we could have in relation to the USA, and trying to get into a trade war with them is not the right move. Okay, so what do you guys want to look at now? You want to look at fucking Fartcoin? Shit coins, meme coins, Fartcoin. Where is Fartcoin? I know I got it on here somewhere. Yes, I mean, Fartcoin is like a perfect example of using Monday's range, but using it at on a different time frame, and I'll show you what I mean here, okay? So here is the old weekly high and low. So now we have 3 levels of interest on Fartcoin, okay? We have this old weekly low. Well, guess what? We traded below it. We reclaimed it. Where did we target? The old weekly high. The same concept applies. You now have a bias. So why on Fartcoin did this order block Why did this order block give you this large upside reaction? Well, it's because our bias was to trade towards this prior week's high after running the low. That's why it works, right? And same thing here. We traded below monthly open. We're now above monthly open. And where are we going to now target? We're going to target a liquidity above us because there's a very good chance now that the low of March is in on Fartcoin. So this is traded relatively cleanly, right? Like order block, order block, order block, and then potentially another order block here. So if the market remains bullish, I don't see why this can't continue to trade higher, but it all depends on Bitcoin, right? Like at the end of the day, if Bitcoin's going to roll over here down into the 70s, Fartcoin is going to sell off another 50 fucking percent. So if Bitcoin goes to 75, 70, Fartcoin is going to be trading sub 10 cents. Main H4OB holding price below constantly. I think lower from here. Yeah, it's possible, dude. Someone had asked me about like where I would short this, and like if I had to short, I would probably short here. Right? Like that to me seems like the short if it's going to nuke, run up, right? Take out the highs and then take out these lows here and these. So that would be like the short idea if we get some sort of rejection up there. You could argue like, hey, yeah, you're right. We have an H4 order block here. I imagine this is the one you're looking at here. And we're struggling within it right now. We have an H1 sweep here. So even on the low time frame, right? If we lose structure here, right? If we lose structure below this low, this thing absolutely could print a short setup, right? With a target there. Definitely possible. But like I'm not trading here. I'm not trading here. Just because I think we're kind of like diddly in the middle. I took the long. It's got a clear invalidation. I'm willing to sit in that over the weekend, but I'm not going to try and like scalp or over trade right now. I already made money this week on Monday's range. So I'm happy, right? I'm happy. I also made money on my S&P long. So like to me, good week. how many breakout challenges can we do at once? Can we do 2 at once? I would rather split instead of one big. You can have more than one account, but you can only trade one evaluation at a time for obvious reasons. If you were trading 2 evaluations at the same time, you could take a long on one and a short on the other, and then just take the one that passes and pass every time one of your accounts. That defeats the entire purpose, and we will catch you and will not allow you to do that. But you can have more than one account. So you can have 2 50K accounts or 3 25K accounts, but as you're doing the evaluation, you can only do one at a time. I'm on shroom and everything looked bullish to me. I used to do mushrooms and then fucking chart. And I swear to God, I thought I was like seeing into the matrix. I used to use these things called fucking fib spirals. And I would fucking like, I would be like, okay, bro, like fucking. I'm like, I'd do the craziest shit, bro. I'd be like, all right, if I take a fib spiral from fucking the last all-time high to the low, like, right, like, look at the fucking breakout here. Once we broke the fib line, we fucking traded higher, and all-time high is going to be fucking, you know, when we get up to here or some shit. Like, it was crazy. I thought I was seeing the matrix. I literally did. You can actually probably find... You can actually probably find me talking about it like way the fuck back in fucking... Yeah, this used to... First of all, this used to be my profile pic, dude. I'm trying to find... Dude, I'm such a fucking... I'm an old head, bro. Look at the date. Look at the date on this tweet, bro. July 30th, 2024. That's more than 10 years ago. I was doing all sorts of crazy shit, dude. Hyperliquid. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks the same as fucking everything else. Came into demand. It's getting a bit of a bounce. You know, put in probably a decent bull div here. Right here, right? Lower lows. RSI was probably higher lows. So it's probably played out, that div already. I don't have confidence in anything really on the long side, to be honest with you. Man, I'm deep underwater on Ondo. Okay. Man, Ondo used to be worth 1 condo. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Like, listen, it can hold here. Like, it's into demand on the monthly. But you got to realize, like, this has already bounced, you know, 25% from here. This is a pretty ugly looking chart. It's got to hold this, or else it's taking out all of that, probably down into there. Have I looked at gold? No, I have not. But I did tweet about it. So I tweeted out that dollar might finally be due for a bounce, right? So dollar took out an old weekly low into demand. Took out a monthly low into the monthly order block. Fair value gap, excuse me. So I'm like, this is due for some mean reversion because it had a 3% down month in March or week. Like, that's a crazy move. This thing's already down, you know, 6% from the high. This is due for a bit of a bounce. So if dollar is going to go up, that means that we can look for weakness in any sort of pair that is denominated by US dollars. Because if this goes up, that means the denominator goes up, the fraction goes down. And so right when I tweeted that, gold, I think, had its first little pullback in a while. I know it doesn't seem like much yet, but gold finally starting to roll potentially. It's still too early to tell on gold, right? But it's now come and it's retesting this H12 order block. So gold is either going to make another high here, and then it will probably sell off, or if it gets below here, I think you can probably short it with your stop up there. Where the fuck is my wife? I'm fucking hungry. This is some bullshit. Bro, if you guys think I'm going to show you what my fucking wife looks like, you're insane. I'm not letting you fucking nerds look at her. Yeah, when I was doing the shrooms and I was charting, I thought I was fucking Einstein. You guys can have a wife too. You just got to go outside and actually talk to women. And I know sometimes that can be very hard, but you just got to get out there, go talk to women. You know what you'd be surprised about? Most really attractive women, they're not used to having guys come up and actually talk to them. And I know it sounds crazy, right? It sounds like, oh, like fucking they're getting hit on all the time. They do. They definitely get hit on all the time. But a lot of guys are scared to talk to them, so they just don't. Just go shoot your shot, fellas. My fucking wife is way out of my league. She is way out of my fucking league. She's fucking smoking hot. SPX, I've got nothing to say. I'm the trade I had played out already, right? We came in, retested, put in the breaker, bing, bang, boom. So this trade idea is basically done. Can we go up from here? Hopefully, because if this rolls over, we're fucking dead. But ultimately, I'm not like a super strong believer that this correction is over until we take out this, or potentially even one of these. Remember, this is back down at the yearly open. This is the yearly order block. Seems crazy, but like it's not that crazy when you think about it. How far back are levels are valid forever, right? A really good example of this is XRP. So XRP, okay, you might be like, well, how far back can I go on levels? Okay, well, this level on XRP is from 2017. So this is an 8-year-old level on XRP. And look at the reaction it gave you. It created the bottom of this entire consolidation. That level's from 8 years ago. So as far back as you fucking want. Right? So like if you go to like Euro USD, you go to the yearly chart, right? Like you can find a level from literally forever ago, right? Like here's an order block from 1975. And 25 years later, it created the bottom. All right, so you can go way back, 2005 level there. To me, that's a key level. Traded above it, back below, retest, sold off. Traded above it, back below, retest, sold off. And I bet you, if we get back above this level, it'll fucking rip. Talking to women is a waste of time. I'd rather fight people on CT over fart coin's relative strength. I mean, listen, if you had to do one of the two things, argue with strangers online about the relative strength of fart coin, or talk to women and potentially get laid, obviously arguing on Twitter is way better. But if you can't argue on Twitter, maybe your internet's not working, then it might make sense to go and try and get some bitches. What up, Eric? How you doing, G? Low dose shrooms with a few beers is one of my favorite combos. It's a nice fucking combo, bro. It's a nice combo. You got a Trump coin chart. I mean, I don't know why you would fucking touch this thing with a 10-foot pole at this point. I mean, wow, like, bro, I think I took a long on this. I got stopped out ages ago, but, like, to me, I don't know. Like, this chart's just fucking cooked. What a fucking extraction. Hayden Davis, congratulations, bro. Hope you're enjoying the hundreds of millions of dollars. So that one interesting thing about a chart like this, because there's not many, is that you have super clear levels to work with. So if you're able to reclaim there, right, then maybe it's of interest. If you're able to reclaim there, maybe it becomes of interest. But until then, nothing. So above here, target here. Above here, target like up to here. But until then, I'm just assuming this is going to just continue to die until proven otherwise. What's another great strat besides Monday's range? Come on, dog. Like, what? I give you an entire strategy from A to Z and a free trade, and you're already asking for more? How about a thank you? Have you said please once? Have you even said please once or thank you? Being bearish on SPX from here is not wise. Okay, bro. Acid is also a lot of fun. FW, what's up, G? I'm doing good, man. You think it's dying short, then Trump comes and says, buy my coin? I mean, maybe, bro. I don't think Trump will ever reference this coin ever. I think the reason that he launched this the weekend before he became president is because the office of the president cannot do or say anything to personally enrich themselves. So I don't think he's going to. That's why I think they launched the coin when they did. Because it was before he was the president, and now he can't talk about it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he comes out and says everyone buy his coin. It's like, okay. But isn't like a bunch of the supply getting unlocked soon? Is an X sub, I'm asking you to look at hype. My G. Bro is feeding me and the fam. I don't think hype is that interesting right here. Do I like hype as a coin? Yes, because it's a protocol. It's an exchange. It's a business. It makes money. That part I like about hype. Hype came into demand, retested, and now it's trying to push higher. So I like the fact that hype could be like a BNB coin. Like it does something. BNB is Binance, right? So that part about hype I like. Otherwise, though, it's just a coin, right? This thing can still go down. I don't see anything super bullish about it yet. Obviously, if you bought near the lows after the bear div or the bull div played out, by all means, GG. I'd be very interested in buying this coin if it got above 18. If it got above 18, I think it trades up to here. And that seems like a pretty free trade to me. Thank you for the support, though, bro. Do I think the Solana casino is cooked? I don't think any casino is ever cooked. There's always going to be people gambling. I think people who are doomer, like one thing you have to be very careful about on Twitter is you're chronically online, right? And when you're chronically online, you're going to be constantly bombarded with just negative shit all the time. You're going to have people telling you that this is the last cycle ever. We're heading into a recession. Mass immigration is taking over the planet. The WEF is going to force you to eat bugs and sleep in a fucking cardboard box, and you're going to own nothing. And it's just negative feedback loop. It's the worst shit. You got to realize the population demographic that is on Twitter, it's made up of a few different categories, but you on Twitter, crypto Twitter, you have some of the smartest people in the world, in my opinion. Like some giga fucking brains who are sharing game. You're talking to 8-9 figure guys, super rich billionaires that you can talk to. It's cool. And they share their thoughts, oftentimes completely for free. But you also have some of the worst people on the entire planet. Miserable sacks of shit who are incels. They live in their parents' basement. They don't talk to other people. And they have a small following, or they have no following at all. But they can say whatever they want. They have a platform now. And they just say whatever the fuck they want. And they're some of the worst fucking people. Some of the worst fucking people on the planet are also on crypto Twitter. Like, terrible fucking people. So the problem is if you're on there all the time, it's very easy to become quite doomer about the world. Like, I talk to a lot of people who are really rich. They're really rich, and they are so doomer on the planet. They're like, it's fucking over. I don't know where to live. I don't know what to do. The government's going to come get me and get all my money. And it's like, what's fucked up about it is there's a lot of people on there who have zero life experience, but now they have money. And so they're not like well-adjusted humans. And this isn't just crypto Twitter. This is like money Twitter as well. There's all these like young people who have money, and they're not well-adjusted people because they haven't lived yet. And whether or not it may be true, because it might be. I dabble in a conspiracy theory or two. Against the fucking global elites. Like, I fuck with some shit. I do. But the problem with being a doomer, you have two options. If it's fucking over, you're fucked anyways, or it's not over and like enjoy your life. And if it is over, you might as well enjoy your life until it's over. You know what I mean? So like, it's very easy to get caught up in these doomer crowds who are like, everything's fucking worse. It's fucking over. The casino's over. Crypto's never going to go up again, bro. And if you didn't make money this cycle, you're fucking done, bro. And you don't have any skills and blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's true. Maybe AI is going to come in and it's going to take over all of the low-skilled jobs and it's going to replace a bunch of people. And that might be a reality. But if you're going to go through your life being a doomer, expecting the worst, you're going to have a miserable life. Whether or not you're right, imagine being the giga doomer and you're right. Okay, well, it's fucking over and you were a miserable cunt the entire time and you didn't even enjoy shit. Like, you know what I mean? If the nuke's fucking coming, I hope I'm going out, getting a fucking BJ, fucking crushing a beer. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, life is what you make it. Whether at the end of the day, most of this shit is out of your control. Doesn't matter who you vote for. Doesn't really matter unless you want to move off the grid. You can't really escape it. Money helps. Absolutely. I'm not saying you shouldn't have money, but for the most part, a lot of this stuff that people are doomer over is completely out of your control anyways. So you might as well have a positive attitude, be optimistic, make the best out of the life that you have that you can. And you're going to be a lot happier for it. You're going to get a lot more enjoyment out of life. You're not going to be just tied to some stupid retarded metric like, oh, I just need this much money and then I'm going to be happy. As someone who's made and lost and made, again, a bunch of money, there's no number that you're ever going to get to where you're happy. You might be like, dude, if I just had $100,000, I'm going to be happy. You won't. If you weren't happy before, you're not going to be happy with 100 grand. You might be happy in the moment, but then you're going to say, well, what if I had 500 or a million? Right? And then you're going to get there. And then you're going to say, well, what about 5 million or 10 million? Like the number just always changes. And what you realize is the number isn't what makes you happy. What makes you happy is the journey. It's the process. Right? And if you can't enjoy that, no amount of money or material possessions is going to make you happy. I've had supercars. I've got fucking crazy watches. I've got money in the bank. None of that, like, there's dopamine, but it's not long lasting. Like when I get in a nice car, I'm like, this is sick, but it's not happiness. You know what I mean? So a lot of people on Twitter, you get caught up in this fucking zeitgeist of negativity and doomer shit. Like I saw some guy post the other day who's like, that was it. Crypto's done. It's the gigatop. All of you guys need to get jobs. I think his name was like Solo Leveling or something. And I'm not trying to talk shit to him because maybe he's right. Maybe crypto's over. But I would rather be an optimist and hope that things improve and that the degeneracy in the casino stays open and love my life and be happy than be just some turbo pessimist fucking doomer. Pessimistic people are like energy fucking vampires. They're the worst people to be around and they do you no favors. Maybe they end up being right about something, but I'd rather be happy. That's just me. You don't have to work a regular job. It's a huge step for happiness. Yes, you do. Anyone who has money works really fucking hard. Depends what that work looks like. Maybe you're trading full time. That's a job. Your boss is the market, right? Maybe you start a company. You're an entrepreneur. You're self-employed. You still have a job just because you're not working a 9 to 5. I know a lot of people with 9 to 5s who are way happier than people who are multimillionaires who don't have a traditional job. So that's not true whatsoever. Like, and people are like, dude, if I just got this money, I'm going to go sit on a beach and never do anything. The thing is the type of person it takes to get very wealthy and make a bunch of dough, usually your personality type isn't the type that can just fucking sit there and smoke weed all day on a beach for the next 40 years. It's not realistic. You need something to keep you busy. I've already looked at Fartcoin, bro. Pookie grind time. I am a god. Okay. Yeah, bro, exactly. Managing your portfolio is a fucking job, dude. Like, imagine you have a $10 million portfolio. Fucking 10% swings in the market. You're swinging 7 figs. That's a job, dog. Had a friend of mine die on a motorbike accident 2 days ago at 25. Honestly, fuck being a doomer. Just enjoy life while it lasts. Dude, 100%, bro. And I'm sorry, my condolences. That's terrible. But you gotta, dude, enjoy life. You can get hit by a bus tomorrow. Then none of this fucking matters. Imagine being a doomer, predicting that the world's gonna end, and then you go get hit by a bus. And your entire life was just being a fucking loser-ass doomer. Right? Like, fucking gay, bro. Here's a real question. Bro, do you wipe back to front or front to back? So I saw a crazy post, and someone said that people wipe sitting down. I've never done that before. That's insane to me. Yon Lu, after hustle to 30 mil, you can put 90% in the S&P 500 and 10% T-bill and quit managing the portfolio forever. Sure. Or you could get 10 mil and you could do that and you can live somewhere that's cheaper. But then what are you going to do all day? How'd you get 30 mil? The person who gets 30 mil is not the type of person that can do nothing. I'm not saying that your life doesn't get easier with money. Of course, money makes everything easier. Anyone who says money doesn't buy happiness never had enough money. Money gives you freedom and freedom of time and location. I'm not disagreeing, but you still got to do stuff, bro. Right? And I know lots of people who are super rich who are depressed. So money is not the answer that you might think it is. Bro, what do you mean you wipe sitting down? Are you fucking crazy? How does that work? You just lift a cheek? Nah, you guys are wrong. You guys are simply wrong. You lift an ass cheek and you stick your hand in the toilet bowl and then you wipe and then you check it and then you fucking put it in? Are you nuts? Wiping, exactly. Thank you, Ray. Wiping sitting down is insane. Everyone knows you stand up, you fucking bend over, you fucking get back there, you wipe from fucking balls, you start at the bottom and you go up. Everyone knows that's how you do it. You guys are fucking trolling me. You keep your ass cheeks spread when you lean over. Stand up and wipe. I even piss sitting down. You guys are nuts. You put one cheek on the side of the seat and then your other cheek. Bro, you guys are crazy. So you use the seat to spread your ass cheeks apart? Nah. You guys are crazy, bro. And first of all, I don't even wipe because I am a man of culture and I have a bidet. So so technically I do it sitting down because I sit on my bidet, which heats my fucking butt and then shoots water up there and it does it all anyways. And then I put the dryer on. So I don't even need to wipe. So all you heathens who sit down and wipe, how about you sit down and get a bidet? Now, you guys are nuts. This guy's like, please look at Ave. Stop talking about poop. All right, fine. You're no fun, bro. We're on much more interesting topics than fucking crypto at this point. We're talking about the fucking dynamics of wiping your fucking butthole. Bro, every chart looks the same. I don't know what you want me to say. Monthly demand. We took out last month's low, but it's got to kind of like, it's got to get above here. It's got to hold above here to have some relief. Otherwise, this thing's going to sell off further. But everything hinges on Bitcoin. So what's tricky about right now is a lot of altcoins are on support. So if Bitcoin pumps to 95K, tons of these alts are going to absolutely rip. But if Bitcoin does not pump, all of these supports, in my opinion, just get sliced through. And I still think Bitcoin dominance isn't necessarily done yet. I still think it can come up to like 70 even. And if that's the case, altcoins are not going to have a good time. Now, you guys literally do not know how to wipe your ass. It's disgusting because you don't even have a bidet. Like, if you don't have a bidet doing it for you, don't talk to me. I'm not all in stable coins, but I do have a pretty healthy cash position. Man, have you ever used Ichimoku clouds? No, I have not. Yeah, the bidet is goated. Yeah, this chart is insane. You know what this chart is, though? It's just ETH BTC inverted. Right? So ETH BTC, though, is kind of interesting. It took out that monthly low there. And just maybe this is due for, a little bit of relief. Just maybe. I would love for ETH BTC to trade not that high, but maybe into here would be fucking phenomenal, dude. Along with the rest of the market rallying. Yeah, if you don't have at least a 6-figure Bored Ape profile picture, don't fucking talk to me. If you don't have a fucking $7,000 Japanese bidet toilet, don't talk to me. Do you think it's stupid to have a reoccurring buy daily on SUI under $4 for the next 3 years? Yeah, probably. Because I think most altcoins trend to zero versus Bitcoin. Like, there's a chance that, like, maybe SUI makes another all-time high. Maybe. But there's also a chance that it never makes another all-time high, right? Like, go look at all the crazy altcoins from the last fucking couple of cycles. Like, is SUI better than ETH? Because ETH hasn't made a new all-time high yet. Like, this is one of the better altcoins historically, and it failed to make an all-time high this cycle so far. It still can, right? Sol, maybe it makes another all-time high, but this thing is going to underperform Bitcoin now in perpetuity, just like this has. Right? So really, you got to ask yourself, is SUI BTC a good chart? I guess this is the best one. Like, is this going to go up over a long period of time or not? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Is it better to buy SUI or just buy Bitcoin itself? In my opinion, it's always better to buy Bitcoin, but maybe SUI can last more than one cycle. I don't know. Anyways, guys, all right. This fucking stream got a little hectic, but I will end it with this. Monday's range strategy, I hope you guys understand it. I hope you find it very helpful. I hope some of my motivational speaking has been inspiring to some of you guys. I hope you enjoy the videos. If you do, show me some love on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, on fucking YouTube. Leave likes and comments. Tell me that you're enjoying all this stuff that I'm just putting out for you guys because I love you. And I do it because I love you. And who knows how much longer I'm going to be here anyways. I've already been here a decade, and I'm feeling like I'm getting towards the end of it. So enjoy it while you still can. Let's go, Oklahoma, whatever team I bet on. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back with another stream either Sunday or Monday. Goodbye. I love you. Peace out. Have a great, fantastic, safe, and restful weekend. Peace.